Right out of college, I got a job as a nanny for 2 elementary age girls. For their anniversary, the parents went on a week-long cruise and I stayed home with the kids. The first few nights, the 8-year-old would come into my room multiple times a night and wake me up. It was obvious she hadn't pre-planned what she was going to give me as a reason for waking me, so she would stumble through an excuse on the spot like, "I just wanted to make sure we were still going to the park tomorrow," or "I think I forgot to brush my teeth and wonder if I should do it now or wait until the morning." I figured she was just missing her parents and feeling out of sorts, so I let it slide at first. But by the 4th or 5th time, knowing I needed to sleep to keep up with 2 active kids, I told her that she wasn't to wake me up unless there was an emergency. I get a couple more hours of undisturbed sleep, but wake up with a weird feeling around 5 a.m. I turn over and nearly piss myself. The girl had brought over a chair right next to the bed and is staring down at me. I couldn't help that she had long dark hair, and this happened a few months after The Ring came out. Her explanation? "I just thought it would be fun to watch you sleep. I didn't wake you." Touché, kiddo. Touché. This story is being told from the perspective of a female. Working a 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. overnight shift, inventory management, stalkers come in about 2 a.m. to unload the grocery truck, so we have to move out of their way. One dude came up to me. He happened to be my neighbor and started a conversation. I'm going along with it, as one does, until I noticed that his eyes were really red and glazed over, and he wouldn't move his eyes away from my chest. Of course, that made me feel awkward, so I closed my arms over myself. He noticed that, and remembered that he had a job to do, so he went to unload the truck. Keep in mind that during our seemingly friendly conversation, he asked me, "What time do you go to lunch?" My reply, "Same time as you do. We work the same shift." He asks, "What are you doing?" So I answer him with, "Going home and eating, duh." Anyway, so an hour flew by and my SO picked me up for lunch and we drove home. Coming into our driveway, I saw the dude from work standing expectantly on his porch. I was hesitant to get out of the car, so I just got out, grabbed my SO's hand, and we made our way to our door. Before we got inside, the dude started throwing a fit, flailing his arms around and legs around, stomping like a child, all that shit. He kicked the door open, kicked a bunch of shit that was by the door, boxes or something, and went inside. We heard him screaming at his wife and kids about something. I called the cops and they dragged him out. Turns out he was drunk. No clue what his plans were, but he did know that I usually walked home alone. The same path he takes. I worked night audit at this semi-swanky hotel next to the airports. One night I get a call from a lady in 204. She says there was arguing, loud banging, and crying coming out of 206. Check the computer. No one has checked into that room due to maintenance issues. What the fuck? Called my supervisor to see what to do. She tells me to call an on-site security and follow them up with a key. No thanks. But I'd be the bigger man and go up anyways. As we get off the elevator, we can hear the crying. It's loud. My heart starts racing as we near the door, so I hand the key to the security guard. The next 5 minutes seem to happen in slow motion. He opens up the door and immediately flicks on the light. Keep in mind, 206, we're on the 2nd floor. Only door in was by me, and this was at like 3 a.m., and there was no one around. As we enter the room, the shower is on. Steam is coming from under the door. There's only one lamp on in the room. It's super cold. and there's a lady in a red lacy bra, black panties, with super red hair, curled up, crying in the bed. She was facing away from us. As Frank approached her, he asked her if everything was okay. She sort of stopped crying and rolled over. When she did, a wave of horror came over me. She was super pale, covered in blood, and was just staring behind us. That's when we realized the shower had stopped and the door was open. There was a man, about 6'5", standing in the doorway as we turned around. Cops tased him and arrested him. Turns out he was a rapist who hides in hotel rooms, kidnaps women who stay there, and cuts them open. To this day, I will never go to a hotel again.